Welcome to the 2023 Black History Program. My name is Tiffany Green, and I work here at Drake State as a Student Success Specialist. We're excited to bring this virtual program to you today, as this year's theme is Black Resistance. You'll hear from many influencers here that we have at Drake State, and also a special guest presenter. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Runzel Edwards. I'm currently a Drake State Blue Eagle Ambassador. Very gracious to be able to have an opportunity to be a part of that organization. I'm currently here today to actually bring up a few tips and just to go over some information about Black history and the reason that it's actually important. With it actually being Black History Month, a few things that we definitely want to discuss is our past, our present, and also the future of how this Black history can impact and make changes for us. Growing up, as a child, I'm a fifth generation Huntsvillian. I have family ties in Selma, which has their own history amongst itself. But I've actually come up to learn and appreciate the past and my past history with my ancestry. They've helped to blaze a path through a long lineage, actually, of great working people, hardworking people that have actually survived. And a lot of times surviving and conquering the next day is a task within itself. But somehow they found the tenacity and found the ability to be able to still progress and push forward to help break us past the threshold at that point. My father being one of those people and actually doing the task of becoming a truck driver and actually completing it, and it's very successful. Presently here, another great representation of Black history would actually be my mentor currently, Mr. Lardell Goodlow. He is a great representation for what the future holds for the Black people, for Black males, especially for myself. Currently here, he is my first Black male teacher and professor I've had my whole collegiate career, and it's actually made a huge difference. It's actually made me more comfortable with accepting new things and not being afraid to explore new career choices. I came to Drake State thinking I was just going to be an electrician, but currently I'm a maintenance man, industry maintenance man. And it's actually due to Mr. Goodlow's push and his encouragement and his ability to actually teach a skill that a lot of people are straying from. And his ability to be able to actually relay that information and make it interesting, and also being able to make sure that we are able to digest it. That is important. So with those factors here, that is going to tackle a few of those components of wondering how you're going to spend your career, having lost information, lost time, wasting time. Knowing your history can help out with actually help to get you back on path. Someone's already done a lot of the work for you. Just follow the steps in some cases. Which brings us to the future. Speaking of the future, we currently are the future at this present time. So we currently have to be the trailblazers still. So there's still opportunities for us to grow, still opportunities for us to represent and be representation in places where others may not have previously had representation in, and actually being able to have someone to have a link to. Sometimes that networking or seeing someone in a career space or in the tech industry or in the business industry actually helps to give you a little bit more encouragement that I also can do this. And it also helps to build that confidence that you may be needing. Some people, they get it from their past, they get it from their ancestry, but some people have to make that choice. They have to make that energy and create that space for themselves. So here in the future, I definitely think our history is going to be growing a lot further, a lot faster. I'm definitely happy and proud to see where it comes in the future. But in the meantime, have a great Black History Month.
On behalf of Dr. Patricia Sims, President of Drake State Community and Technical College, it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for our Black History Month program 2023. We are honored to have Alabama State Representative Anthony Daniels as our keynote speaker this year. Representative Daniels is very compassionate about education, workforce development, the growth in technology, and the people in general in the state of Alabama. Representative Daniels is a graduate of Alabama A&M University. He is also the husband of Dr. Tanisha Daniels, and together they have 3 children. It is my esteemed pleasure to introduce Alabama State Representative Anthony Daniels.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome. And let me say that it is with great joy that I celebrate Black History Month with all of you today. I would like to begin by really thanking my friend, Ms. Carla Cliff, for the invitation, extending this invitation. And also that your wonderful president, Dr. Patricia Sims, who is a close friend of mine, and the rest of the wonderful staff at Drake State Community and Technical College for hosting this Black History Month program. And thank you to all of you online for your attendance at this virtual event. You know, gatherings like these are critical as we celebrate our shared history. In doing so, we celebrate the promise of our shared future. And as it's often said, there is no history without Black history. This could not be more true than it is here in Alabama. Black history is American history. It's Alabama history. This year's theme for Black History Month is Black Resistance. And before I begin, I would like to invite everyone to really picture in your mind what Black resistance is. If we all shared our responses right now, I can guarantee you that there are a magnitude of different answers. And truly, each and every one of those answers would be correct. That is because Black resistance is almost undeniable. Many of you, I can assure you, immediately envision individuals that have been champions throughout history like Dr. Martin Luther King, former Congressman John Lewis, Rosa Parks, and more recently, recently exonerated Claudette Colvin. Those are champions of civil disobedience, which is really at the core, the audacity to hold ourselves out as equal citizens in the public eye, to assert our equal protection and rights under the law. In Alabama, we live in the shadows of these giants, and they often are the first to come to mind. Others may have envisioned individuals like Langston Hughes and Zora Hurston, whose words breathed the life into this notion that the Black American experience is a part of the American experience. Those words they wrote and spoke still resonate with us today. Another vision might have been Satima Clark, an educator and a pioneer in the community of education and civil activism. She lifted others up with the knowledge to engage in our democracy, and her efforts are still felt today. Or it might be someone in your life, someone you personally know, who have championed the causes of justice and equality. The truth is, all of these answers and more are all correct. Because sometimes our very existence is an act of resistance. That is the common thread among all of these examples. That the words and actions of all of these icons would not have been seen as resistance if that had not happened, that would not have happened if they were African American. The existence of my grandparents was a very act of resistance. And being here today as a Black male and a state representative is an act of someone else's resistance. My grandfather was born into a family of sharecroppers in the land of former Governor Wallace, the place of Jim Crow, and the home of the field trials, Midway, Alabama. My grandfather picked cotton, tilled fields, and herded goats on a large plantation. My grandmother was raised on the same plantation. My grandmother was able to go to school and walk several miles down a dirt road in order to get to school. But they went, an act of Black resistance. My grandfather only received a 4th grade education, and my grandmother only attained a 6th grade education. They had to turn their focus to survival, working alongside their parents in the fields and in the home. Their youth, their chance for all a full education was taken from them by the sad realities of their life. But they still worked for a better life, for them and their descendants. They still existed. They still resisted. 4 years before I was born, My grandparents were able to move off a plantation. They worked to provide a different life for my mother and her siblings. This was another act of resistance. The act of moving off the land on which their family had struggled was resistance. And I'm sure that some saw it the other way. And so my presence here today, only one generation removed, only 4 years removed from being born on the land, is unlikely. And it is an act of what? Black resistance. And I'm proud of that. All of you here today are doing the same exercise. We're all resisting by being here, by doing what we're doing, by existing. Whether we're existing in a space that we have found to be secure for ourselves, such as our proud HBCUs. Whether we're existing in a space that had been made unsecure for us, like Rosa Parks riding that bus, or the freedom fighters walking across the bridge in Selma. By living and showing that the Black American experience is a part of the American experience. And all of us benefit when we do that. Not only us here, not only Black Americans, but all Americans. Because when we combat injustice here, injustice in our lives, injustice in our experiences, we combat injustice everywhere. Whether or not our fellow Americans realize it, we're all championing their causes by championing our causes. As I said before, Black resistance is the only resistance. But when we allow ourselves to be the voice for justice, to use our experiences as the most potent canvas to demonstrate the injustice of the world and our society, we improve that society for all people. And for those who do not believe that truth, that our experiences have improved justice and life for all Americans, remember what Langston Hughes once said, looks like what drives me crazy, don't have no effect on you, but I'm gonna keep on at it till it drives you crazy too. And in that note, keep on resisting, keep on existing until all of America and the world sees the truth. Black resistance is the story of Black existence, and the world would be a more unjust and less beautiful place without it. This makes me remember the words of Edgar A. Guest, who wrote, "When things go wrong, and they sometime will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, Drake State, but doggone it, don't you quit." Thank you all. May all of you be blessed and continue to engage in Black resistance.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing